Okay, I'm going to do my little body centering just to start off. If you want to join me, just rub your hands till they're warm and then put them right over your eyes. A couple more times. All right, well, that's not cool. So I realized it was Wednesday today, so I scratched out a poem in the morning, but it's kind of just the way it came out of me, so we'll see. See what it's like. Wow, something's not working right. What is this? Oh, I see. That's better. Walking along a sun-dappled road, avoiding puddles after a night of light rain. Sometime before my birth, there might be redwoods and laurel and oak alongside. But now to my right, there is a forest of huge eucalyptus trees. Alien trees transplanted from Australia. Their loose bark slapping at their trunks like the robes of an old man falling open. Their limbs creaking in the wind, inviting fears of the sky falling. And everywhere the medicinal smell like a cloud of cough drops. The Park Service is culling their numbers, cutting down every third one, poisoning the stump and covering it so the animals won't be collateral kills. These are not native trees, and when they burn, it is explosive. Miles away on frozen streets, people are dying, enraged by the hatred of the alien, the familiar rallying cry of clever tyrants. I can feel sorry for these innocent trees, seeing their brothers cut down in their midst. But what can I do? A person I don't know approaches. We smile and say hello as we pass. It's a small gesture, I know. Soon I'll be walking another road home, and hate for another I see will not even occur to me. Then maybe I will find out. Oh, that's not right. Then maybe I will find out what this is all really about.
That's heavy.
Yeah, I don't usually write topical stuff, but that's what came out this morning. Oh, let's see. Well, I've been reading from my but that poem produced a lot of quiet. I tried to.
I have a lot to say about that, but I don't want to bring it into this.
Yeah, really, this is our poetry night. I don't have to
Yeah,
get into all that stuff.
yeah, right.
But I tried to soften it at the end.
You did, but we all knew what you were talking about.
I do kind of hope when I do go over to the other side, I'll have a little perspective on this world.
Yeah.
Well, I've been reading from my original poetry book, so I'll keep doing that for a while. This is another kind of heavy one. Okay. The White Mice. In college, I needed to cut the throats of several white mice. I'd inoculated them with some terrible thing, and now I was instructed to test their blood. To be honest, I didn't feel much, maybe a twinge, a foretaste of distaste, but I needed a good grade. My eyes were set on a future without embarrassment or failure. Now I wouldn't do it. I see my future like wild pigeons at dusk, flying wildly and joyously before settling in the trees to roost for the night. Now I would feel those little bodies in my hands. I would feel the cold scalpel. I'd remember what we should learn in life, and it's not what they tell us. Remember to know life, not master it. I'd remember my body when I held a squirming mouse's body. Remember my life as I felt his heart beating. I'd put him out on the grass, take off my shoes to feel the earth too. I'd take a big breath and know I was standing there. Know I wouldn't kill another thing, especially my connection to grace.
Hmm.
I always liked that poem. I realized now I
Fine.
messed up a little. I called the rat a mouse. But that's the only time I ever had to do that in college, and I'm glad it was only once. Well, let's see. This is called the computer. I'm yelling at the computer. Ridiculous, but we all do it. Finally, I get it to work. Bing! The little bird flies to the download icon. Looking out the window, it's good for the eyes to change focus. I sigh, I laugh. I wonder if death is like this, downloaded to a celestial cloud. The tree I'm looking at is suddenly looking back at me. This is an altogether different focus. I'm in the picture now, sitting here, flesh and blood, and what? My breath is breathing with the tree, so this is what it's like to be included. Why then do I spend my life limiting and mimicking?
Hmm.
Let's see. This one's called The River. I think this is one of the very first poems I ever wrote when I was starting to write poetry before writing all these books. At least the first poem that I included in these books. The river. Gazing at the river here, something seems wrong. The water is going backwards. Of course. Here at river's end, ocean and river push against each other, mixing with the sea. In a sense, this is the end for this river that began as a crystal clear rivulet in some distant mountain valley. In its youth, it crashed over boulders, splashing joyously, drops jumping into air, perhaps landing on a warm rock and disappearing into sky, portent of a final merging. Yet even when it slowed, becoming wide and meandering in its middle passage, it felt it could flow forever. How could it stop or be stopped? Old now myself, I remember youth's energies, perilous adventures, broken bones. Now I smell the salt air around the next bend. Will it be merging bliss or salty tears? What did it all mean? Perhaps only what I learned, these three things. No endings or beginnings in reality. Savor every moment still flowing. Have no regrets.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
I love the last three things, the things to remember. That's the
yeah.
great ending.
I think the hardest one is to have no regrets. Well, okay. Now we'll read Glenda's poem. Where's my poem? Where's my thing? This is Glenda's new poem. She says, "This is new. The title and first line kept me awake for a while, and I had to write something down." It's titled Turn Around. Turn around and you might see me, with my toes in the dirt and my head in the sky. You might see the footprints I left in the dark when I chose to walk across stones, ignoring the grass. I might wade in the shallows of diamond-shaped light just to feel the memories whispered that dance on my face. Turn around and you'd find me waiting alone, lost in your smile, your path gently shown, to travel to me by word or by thought. We'd walk across the breakers and dance with the sun as it slowly gives way to starlight at last. Turn around and touch me with rain-soaked thoughts, and I'll reach for you with memories kept fast. I'll wrap myself in a cloak of your scent, comforted here as the day gently fades, and I turn around to recall where I've been. When we walked our path of forever not found, and smiled at the future that never came true. Lovely as usual.
Thank
Took the
you.
words right out of my mouth. Oh,
Yeah. Well, surely some of the future came true. But yeah,
Not everything that was planned.
yeah, that's true. Life does that, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Mm.
When you're young, you think everything's going to happen. Then when you get older, you're surprised. Thank you, Barbara.
Yeah, I saw that too. Barbara saying nice. Okay, well, another great one from Glenda. Okay, well, we got time to read a few other poems. This is by Jane Hirschfield. The conversations I remember most. The way a sweet cake wants a little salt in it, or blackness a little gray nearby to be seen, or a pot unused stays good for boiling water. The conversations I remember most are the ones that were interrupted. Wait, you say, running after them. I forgot to ask. Night rain, they answer. Silver on the fire thorns, red berries. She's got the last two lines in italics. Let's see. Here's one of hers in 7 parts. Works and loves. Number 1. Rain fell as a glass breaks, something suddenly everywhere at the same time. Number 2. To live like a painting, looked into from more than one angle at once. Eye to eye with a doorway, down at the hair, up at your own dusty feet. Number 3. This is your house, said my bird heart to my heart of the cricket, and I entered. What's a bird heart? My bird heart. This is your house, said my bird heart to my heart of the cricket, and I entered. Number 4. The happy see only happiness. The living see only life. The young see only the young. As lovers believe, they wake always beside one also in love. Oh, that's sweet. Number 5. However often I turned its pages, I kept ending up as the same two sentences of the book. She's got this in italics. The being of some is to be, of others to be without. Then I fell back asleep. In Swedish. Wow. I don't know where Swedish came from. Number 6. A sheep's grazing is unimpressed by the mountain, but not by the flies. Number 7. The grief of what hasn't yet happened, a door closed from inside, the weight of the grass dividing, and ants' five-legged contemplations walking through it. Oh, we got more. Number 8. What is the towel? What is the water? Changes, though of we three, only the towel can be held upside down in the sun. Number 9. I was once, said not in self-pity or praise, this dignity we allow barn owl, ego, oyster. Oh my God. I've never known her to be so surreal, or whatever that's called when you write crazy stuff. Oh well. Hey Glenda, we should write a crazy poem sometime.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it right now. I'm thinking about a crazy poem right now. I got an idea.
Here's one by Gary Schneider. How to know birds. The place you're in, the time of year, how they move, and where in the meadows, brush, forest, rocks, reeds they're hanging out, alone or in a group or little groups. Size, speed, sorts of flight, quirks, tail flicks, wing shakes, bobbing. Can you see what they're eating? Calls and songs. Finally, if you get a chance, can you see their colors, details of plumage, lines, dots, bars? That will tell you the details you need to come up with a name, but you already knew that. You already know this bird. I like that. This new kind of sparrow showed up at my feeder the other day, and I kept looking in my book to figure out what it was. It turns out it's a fox sparrow. It's kind of very dark. There's this with spots on its breast. Very kind of unsparrow-like.
I have a bird that keeps coming to my feeders that's kind of a blackish blue with white lines on the side and a white stomach.
Mm.
And it's larger than the sparrows. So I mean it's like twice the size of a sparrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I Googled it. I still can't find it.
Well, yeah. You don't have a bird book?
Well, I had a bird book, but you can it's easier to just go to Google. You know, you can just you could get it all on one page.
Yeah, but you have to show it a picture, don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm happy to have a different kind of sparrow. He's all alone. He hangs out with the white crown. I have lots of white crown sparrows.
Hmm.
Okay, what we got? 626. Well, here's one by Marianne Moore. I think was a pretty well-known poet. What are years? What is our innocence? What is our guilt? All are naked, none is safe. And whence is courage, the unanswered question, the resolute doubt, dumbly calling, deafly listening, that in misfortune, even death, encourages others, and in its defeat stirs the soul to be strong. He sees deep and is glad, who accedes to mortality, and in his imprisonment rises upon himself as a sea in a chasm, struggling to be free and unable to be in its surrendering, finds its continuing. So he who strongly feels behaves, the very bird grown taller as he sings, steals his form straight up, though he is captive. His mighty singing says, satisfaction is a lowly thing. How pure a thing is joy. This is mortality. This is eternity.
Hmm.
Nice. Let's see. Let's read Robert Bly. Fishing on a lake at night. Someone has left a light on in the boathouse to guide the fishermen back after dark. The light makes no sound as it comes. It flies over the waves like a bird with one wing. Its path is a boatful of the dead trying to return to life over the broken waters. And the light simply comes bearing no gifts, as if the camels had arrived without the wise men. It is steady, holding us to our old mountain home. Now as we watch the moon rises over the popple forest. What's a popple? It too arrives without a fuss. It goes between the boards around the pulp cutter's house, the same fence we passed through by opening the gate.
I wonder what made him think of a bird with one wing.
Yeah. Poor thing would just be not flying.
Yeah.
It would just be struggling around. I saw a little baby finch the other day that looked very sick. He was on the pear tree, and I thought, oh, I'm not going to see him again. But in a couple of days, I saw him at the feeder. He had survived, so
Well, that's good.
that was nice. Well, it's actually, well, I'll read one more and then it's Mary time. Oh, well, this is an oldie but a goodie. This is Walt Whitman. Probably the Walt Whitman everybody knows. Song of Myself. I celebrate myself and sing myself, and what I assume you shall assume. For every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. I loaf and invite my soul to lean and loaf at my ease, is observing a spear of summer grass. My tongue, every atom of my blood, formed from the soil, this air. Born here of parents, born here from parents the same, and their parents the same. I am now 37 years old, in perfect health begin, hoping to cease, not till death. Creeds and schools in abeyance, retiring back a while, suffered at what they are, but never forgotten. I harbor for good or bad. I permit to speak at every hazard. Nature without check, with original energy. I always like the way he says I loaf and invite my soul. That kind of sounds like me. I'm a good loafer. Nobody uses the word loaf much anymore. Okay, read a couple Marys and that will be it. I think this book has my favorite Mary. No? Maybe it does. Yeah, it does. My favorite Mary of all time. 7 white butterflies. 7 white butterflies, delicate in a hurry, look how they bang the pages of their wings as they fly, to the fields of mustard yellow and orange and plain gold. All eternity is in the moment. This is what Blake said, Whitman said. Such wisdom in the agitated motions of the 7 dancers floating. Even as worms towards paradise, see how they banter and rise and riot and rise to the trees, flutter, lob their white bodies into the invisible wind, weightless, lacy, willing to deliver themselves unto the universe. Now each settles down on a yellow thumb, on a brassy stem. Now all 7 are rapidly sipping from the golden towers. Who would have thought it could be so easy? I wish I could write a poem like that one once before I crank off. Black oaks. Okay. It's telling me I'm running out of time. Black oaks. Okay. Not one can write a symphony or a dictionary or even a letter to an old friend full of remembrance and comfort. Not one can manage a single sound, though the blue jays carp and whistle all day in the branches without the push of the wind. But to tell the truth, after a while I'm pale with longing for their thick bodies rucked with lichen. And you can't keep me from the woods, from the tonnage of their shoulders, their shining green hair. Today is a day like any other, 24 hours, a little sunshine, a little rain. Listen, says ambition, nervously shifting her weight from one boot to the other. Why don't you get going? For there I am, in the mossy shadows under the trees. And to tell the truth, I don't want to let go of the risks of idleness. I don't want to sell my life for money. I don't even want to come in out of the rain. Well, let's see, maybe one more. Oh, it's one of her dog poems. The dog has run off again, and I should start shouting his name and clapping my hands. But it's been raining all night, and the narrow creek has risen. Is a tawny turbulence, is rushing along over the mossy stones, is surging forward with the sweet loopy music. And therefore I don't want to entangle it with my own voice, calling, summoning my little dog to hurry back. Look, the sunlight and the shadows are chasing each other. Listen how the wind swirls and leaps and dives up and down. Who am I to summon his hard and happy body, his four white feet that love to wheel and pedal through the dark leaves, to come back to walk by my side, obedient. Oh, great. I'm sure glad all you could come and join us tonight.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Julie.
Everybody have a great week.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Lily.
Julie.
Stronger hair in just 3 to 6 months.
Okay, guys. Barbara, I'll see y'all later next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Lillian.